Hello. Today we're having here Economic Development Minister of Jalisco, Mexico, Roberto Echedera. We will be talking about business opportunities for the U.S. and also about the Mexican Silicon Valley. So we're going to start in a little bit. Thank you. Hey, good morning, Roberto. How are you doing?
Great. How are you, Joe? Thank you for having me in your show. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
It's our honor to have you here with us. A great opportunities that everything happening right now in Mexico, especially in the Mexican Silicon Valley. That I know you are the key man to talk about it, and also besides that, all the other industries that Mexico is bringing to the table to this moving economy from China to Mexico, and all the American companies excited to hear about you.
Thank you so much. Yes, nearshoring and growing and expansion from companies is a great opportunity for the country. In my case, I have the honor to lead the economic development of the state of Jalisco. We are having a great growing time in the state at this moment. I can share with you that we are creating a lot of jobs in the state. Last year, we were the first place in work and job creation in the country. That was the first time that Jalisco is in the first place in the ranking, and that is because we are working really, really hard in a very positive way with the triple helix, with the private sector, with the academy, and also government working together, making decisions together in order to make Jalisco a very friendly state for investment, a great place to live, and also a place where companies can trust for their new investments. We are receiving investment from a lot of part of the world. I will get to that specifically in a moment, but what I want to share with you, dear Joe, is that Jalisco is in a great pace right now. We are having a lot of growth in jobs. Jalisco is a place where people can come and find a good job, a good standard of living, and with security. And that is what we are working at this moment.
Perfect. Thank you for winning one of the top uh, states in Mexico with creating more jobs, which makes more interesting how what is happening there. And and I will ask you something that uh, everyone is interested to hear about success stories uh, related with the Mexican Silicon Valley. That the Silicon Valley is key right now for any of these economies between the U.S. and the world and China. So, what are the most interesting stories that you can share about the electronic or electric manufacturing that are happening right now in Jalisco?
That's a great question. Nearshoring started in Jalisco in 1962. This
Wow.
is a phenomenon that is new for the state. That is why they started calling us the Mexico Silicon Valley. Uh, First, Siemens come to the state, and then companies as Burrock, Motorola, and then a bigger wave of companies came also to the state as HP, IBM, and more recently, companies that are more in the internet sector, in the internet industry, as Oracle, as Intel. Intel is one of our biggest case of success here in the state, for instance. And I would like to elaborate a little bit more in the Intel, because it's one of the success cases. Intel Guadalajara Design Center. It started as a startup Mexican with a director called
Wow.
Jesus Palomino. and he started making research. But then Intel get interested in what Jesus was doing, and they make a joint venture. So Intel buy the company, and now Jesus runs Intel Guadalajara, and is one of the most prestigious centers in the world of design and what they call validation worldwide. Um it was the first acquisition of Intel in Latin America. Was one of their first ventures in the Latin American area, and they started operations in October of 2000. In the year of 2001, they developed the first chip for Intel called, for Intel, and in 2003, when Intel Design Center, they turned into the center of validation of new processors for servers. They make but the validation for new processors for servers. So this is very interesting. But what is happening in Guadalajara is that what they do, they test and validate all the chips that are in the servers that big companies are working with. And that is because they find the talent here, they find the right conditions, the government gave incentives for them, and we have a very close relations with them. In fact, some days ago, we announced a project called Specialized Talent with Semiconductors. And this is a very nice program that we are working between the government and also with a company as the prestigious and size of Intel. And this is a very nice example of how the Triple Helix works here in Guadalajara and Jalisco. This program will allow to recruit and make the selection, also training and certificate 100 engineers in 1 year. So what will happen is that they will start that they are engineers from universities in the country, mostly in Jalisco, but we have received applications from Ciudad Juarez, from Tijuana, from Sinaloa, from Mexico City, but most of them in Jalisco with universities as Tec de Monterrey, Universidad de Guadalajara. So the students apply for having an internship in Intel. And Intel will pay for their work, so they will be studying, or if they are already graduated, they can also apply, but they will be working in Intel, learning with the new technology that they have, all the validation, and they will become a new generation of high talented engineers that will be ready for all the ecosystem that is here in Jalisco. So Intel will hire some of them, will give jobs to some of them, but most of them will go out to market to work in the ecosystem that we have. In Jalisco, we have companies as Bosch, as Continental, as Oracle, and many others. For instance, also Porsche Design, all the design for the Porsche software for these cars is happening here in Jalisco. All the design of software for Bosch is happening also here in Jalisco. The electromobility industry is growing really fast thanks to the ecosystem that we have in high technology here in the state. So this is happening right now, and we are very happy because we are training the new talent here in Jalisco. And also can share with you, dear Joe, that a big pharma company, I'm not allowed to say the name because it's a public company, and this can be of this is something that they have to announce by themselves. But what they approach to the government, to my ministry, and say, hey, ministry, we are closing all our design and software centers around the world because we realize that in Jalisco we have the talented people that can work for us. We will close all the others, the design and software centers in the world, and we concentrate everything in Jalisco. So they will be creating around 1,000 new jobs for engineers on the state. So we have a lot of opportunities. These are success stories that I'm very glad to share with you because it's happening in the state and it's happening for Mexico. So it's a great opportunities for what is the ecosystem of high tech in the state, and that is why we are called the Silicon Valley of Mexico, Joe.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is interesting, and especially you mentioned also Bosch, and all those are German companies. So that makes me more interested that how many countries are investing in nearshoring in Mexico. And but besides the Silicon Valley, Roberto, I'm sure that there are other important industries in Jalisco that they can compete with China. I'm sorry to bring the competing with China because all the manufacturing from most of the manufacturing that they are in China related with American companies are moving back to the US or moving to Mexico. So, which other industries are important that will help us if you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Thank you for the question. Jalisco is a very diversified state. We have many industries. Has a great industrial richness and is one of the states with best diversification in productive sectors. And we offer opportunities of investment in all type of industries, from agro industry with a strong sector of berries and aguacate. And I'm sure a lot of your audience has already experienced the avocado fever in the United States with the Super Bowl, and it's something that is growing a lot in Jalisco. We are exporting avocados to the United States, and this is a phenomenon that is happening. Actually, Jalisco is known as the gigante agroalimentario or the biggest producer of agriculture in Mexico. We contribute with more than the 13% of all the GDP of the country of agriculture in the agricultural basis. So this is one of our best sectors. But we are also very active in exports, and we have industries from software development, hardware, machine learning, artificial intelligence, uh, in the automotive industry, and also electromobility. We are about to announce, actually, with the Universidad de Guadalajara, the first engineer in electromobility that is happening in the country. So this is very relevant. And with the nearshoring, I will tell you that the main subsector that is exporting goods to the world in Jalisco is the manufacturing of computer equipment, communication equipment, and measuring equipment, and other type of components and accessories of electronics, and that is the almost 52% of our exports. So electronic components is very important for the state, and that was in the first quarter of this year. The electronic components of Jalisco, they represent 17.4% of the exports of nationally talking in this sector. So it's very important in the country, and we are third place. I mean, in the country after Chihuahua and Baja California. So Jalisco is growing, and we're exporting more and more every single day. That is one of the main industry that we have. But also one very important that I would like to mention is tequila. Tequila is also very big industry for us. So we have Jalisco. That's why we say that Jalisco is Mexico. Jalisco is the land of mariachis, the land of tequila, is land of technology, it's the land of innovation. It's a great place to live. So we are very proud of what we have here because we are a very good ambassador of the country worldwide.
Wow, tequila, that's key for many visas in Mexico and the US.
Yes, it is.
Right. Well, and especially with electronics and all those industries. So this is the momentum happening in Mexico right now, and I'm glad that everything's moving in the right way, and I'm interested to answer and help local business owners in the US and bring the manufacturing either in the US and combining with some processes in Mexico. Actually, can you please, you were telling me before that some processes are just manufactured in Mexico with raw materials from the US or from Asia, and then those electronics are moving to the US to continue the manufacturing between US, Canada, and Mexico. Um, Give us an example, please, Roberto.
Sure. Let me tell you that with the nearshoring, we see a great opportunity for the state and the country. Let me explain why. And it has to be what you're just mentioning. Uh, Traditionally, the big manufacturers, the big technological manufacturers as Sanmina, Jabil, Flex, and many other also as Foxconn, uh, even though that they manufacture here in the state, what happens is that they import from Asia most of their components and raw materials in order to make production. The regional content of the production of these manufacturing companies is very low, between 6 and 10%. So that means that they import between 90 and 96% of all the raw materials and components that they use for the manufacturing and production of the of the products that they export for their clients. They manufacture from cell phones, computer chips, and many other electronical components, telephones, and many others. We have a lot of production here in the state. But what I would like to say is that what we see of opportunity is that the companies that are coming from Asia, they're expanding their operations also to to be close to the biggest market, that is the United States. Now, to take advantage of the TMEC, the free trade agreement that we have between Canada, the United States, and Mexico, they have to increase their local or regional content in their products. For instance, cars, in order to be free of tax, free of any tax in the region, they will have they have to include 75% of local components. That means that any car that wants to be part of the free trade agreement, they have the 75%, between 70 and 75% of the components of the car have to be from manufacturing and also supplied from Canada, United States, and also Mexico. So what we see here is a great opportunity because we can include the small, medium-sized companies to the supply chain of these big companies that will start manufacturing in the country. So that is a great opportunity that make development, economic development for the companies. And we as a government are working really hard. What I can tell you is that, for instance, we are in the process of working, for give you an example, with Tesla in the development of components and also suppliers, potential suppliers for all the vehicles. At this moment, that I can share with you is that we estimate that even though that Tesla hasn't come to the country, it's in that process. We in this moment, in Jalisco, we are producing around between 20 and 24% of every single Tesla that is driving in the world. So Jalisco is already contributed with that to that sector, and we are hoping to increase it more. So this is a great opportunity that we see to increase the regional content of the products of the state in the manufacturing processes of the new companies. And it's not only a opportunity for Jalisco, but it's also opportunity for all the companies in the country. So we see that this is the Mexico moment, it's the Jalisco moment, and we are working very hard in order to assess it.
Yeah, that's a great that you said 1955,
62. We started in
1962,
1962 with Siemens. That's right.
partnering with the US companies. So it's a huge experience, especially with electronics. You mentioned IBM, Hewlett Packard. So, and also comparing, while you were speaking, I was analyzing that the management control way is good because here in Atlanta right now is 11 o'clock. Mexico right now is 10 o'clock, so it's 1 hour difference. If you compare with that with China, it's a big difference. So right now it's nighttime in China, so it's hard as a management to control all those,
Yes.
and also what is most concern for American companies is the legal rights for propriety, intellectual property, technology. What is happening right now, So it means that since 1962, right? Mexico has proof so far that it's the best partner for the U.S. sharing technological secrets and operations and processes, which is really important right now. What is happening, and also the if you want to take a flight to manage your operations in Mexico, how long is taking a flight from Guadalajara, Mexico to, I don't know, New York, Roberto? 5 hours, 4 hours flight.
It's around four, sometimes 4.5 hours. Guadalajara is one of the most connected cities in the country, alongside with Mexico City, of course, and also with Monterrey. I think we are the three more connected cities in the country with all the world. We have more than, if I recall properly, more than 2,000 flights every single week from Guadalajara to a lot of parts of the US mainly, but also Europe. For instance, we have a direct flight to Madrid. We have, and soon we will have more flights to the US and also Canada. But we are also very connected with the Silicon Valley. And that is a good advantage. The airport of Guadalajara is becoming one of the most important airports in the country. We are number one at this moment of cargo by volume in the country, and we are second in operations. But soon we will be number one because the airport is making a huge investment of more than $500 million in order to increase their operation. Every single year, the airport attends or service more than 15 million passengers, but that number will increase in the coming years to 30 million. We will double the capacity of the airport in the coming years, so that is very relevant for what is happening in the state. And we will have a new landfill that is going to start operation next year. That's the projection, to start operations next year for the new landfill, hotel, offices, and also new terminal in the airport, and also a huge parking lot for the cars. So the operation of the airport is growing. But let me tell you and share something that is not in the news at this moment, dear Joe, and it will be something like an exclusive for you. But Guadalajara is soon, it will be, I mean, Jalisco will become soon the only state that will have four, this is not a very important number, four airports in the country. The
Wow.
Guadalajara Airport, Puerto Vallarta Airport, Costa Alegre Airport, that is an airport that is already built, is all ready to start operations in the coming weeks. We are just waiting for the aviation authorities of the country to give us the permit to start operations there. But we believe that before this year ends, we will have the third airport in the state starting operations. And the fourth airport, that is just a project at this moment, but we are working really hard to make it happen, is in the north side of the state. It will be a cargo airport in Lagos de Moreno. So soon, Jalisco will be the only state in the country with four airports, 3 passengers and cargo, and 1 exclusively focused on cargo for all the automotive industry, because Lago de Moreno is in a strategic position, geographically speaking, because it's very close to Aguascalientes, to Guanajuato, to Querétaro, in order to serve that area. So Jalisco is positioning as a state with a high degree of connectivity and a high degree of talent. So we are very happy with that. And that's a news for you. That's exclusive
Thank
news,
you. Thank you.
breaking news.
Great news. Thank you for sharing that. And also something that I was about to ask, it was about exactly that, about logistics. And you just said that great news. So it makes big difference because if a company needs to ship products, how far is the next port? I guess it's Manzanillo, Mexico. How far is from Guadalajara? Uh,
Yes, that's a very good question. Let me share with you that companies from all the world, they manufacture here in Jalisco, and they have many operations here. Um, and we are very close to Manzanillo port. We are just 290 kilometers from Manzanillo port. Even though that is not in the state of Jalisco. If you see the image that you are just projecting, you see Jalisco as a black figure over there. And in the south lower part of the state, if there is a small state called Colima, there is where Manzanillo port is, and it's only 290 kilometers from Guadalajara. But also, one important port that we have also in the Pacific Ocean is Lázaro Cárdenas. That port is only 500 kilometers from Guadalajara, and they have great connectivity with Asia, and also with in specifically with China, with United States, with Canada, with Russia, with Colombia, with Chile, Ecuador. Also, I remember Peru, Korea, Hong Kong, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. We have great connectivity over there. And as I just mentioned, we have the two airports right now in operations, Guadalajara and also Puerto Vallarta, and soon Costa Alegre, and hopefully also very soon Lagos de Moreno. But we are very well connected, and the roads from the Manzanillo port to Guadalajara are in great conditions. The roads are very nice, and also the railroad is working very effectively. I want to tell you that we are working at this moment with the custom authority, the aduana authority, the customs, in order to have a new dry port in the state of Jalisco, close to Guadalajara. The dry port, what will permit is to have custom operations in that dry port that is not in the ocean, that will be in Acatlán de Juárez, very close to Guadalajara, and it will help to bring containers from Manzanillo and to put it in the trucks from the ship, put it in the trucks, bring it to Guadalajara, and make all the custom process here in Guadalajara, making it fast for bringing products from Asia to the state. So that is a project that we are working at this moment with the custom authority of the country, with the federal authorities, and we are very confident that it will start operations very soon, if not this same year, in the first quarter of the next year.
Wow, thank you so much, Roberto. I know you have a very busy agenda. So the last question before letting you go to your activities. So, what is the characteristic of the labor of people in Jalisco? Because how can qualify are I know that you mentioned about electronics and all that. So about manufacturing. So because many companies they will be like how cheap, how qualified are to invest in Jalisco.
Well, I truly believe that talent is one of our major competitive advantages. Jalisco is the leader in the country of educational centers and universities. We have some of the biggest and more prestigious universities in the state. And for instance, we have more than 584 formation centers for job formation for technical jobs. That is very important, but that's why we have a very large pipeline of talent in order to fulfill the requirements of the companies that established here in the state. We have more than 50 technical, superior technical schools, more than 120 postgraduate or undergraduate programs. And we have more than 19 technological universities in the state, but we have universities that have a lot of prestigious, as Tec de Monterrey, Universidad Panamericana, Autónoma de Guadalajara, UNIVA, and of course, our great, we are very proud to have the second largest public university here in the state, Universidad de Guadalajara. That is, they have a lot of research and development, and they provide with thousands of students every single year to the companies that come here. So we are a state very focused on talent formation, to talent preparation, and we are going to increase that every single year. At this moment, Jalisco produces and have more than 10,000 graduates from engineering every single year. But we are working at this moment with the Ministry of Education in order to make it 40,000 in the coming years. So we will pass from 10,000 to 40,000 engineers every single year, and that is one of our greatest value added in the state, dear Joe.
Wow, so it's a great information, great invitation for American companies that, as you know, we're based in Atlanta, Georgia, and we are helping them to either explore new possibilities in Mexico or those that they already started 3, 4 years, 5 years ago. So just jumping to the game right now, as they started with this planning before. So thank you so much, Roberto, for your time. We wish that it's not going to be the first and the last one. It's an honor having you here. And next time I visit Mexico, I will be glad to visit all those tequilas companies that you mentioned there.
You are very welcome here, Joe, anytime. Thank you for having me in your program. I wish you luck. And if anyone wants to come to Mexico, to the state of Jalisco, please reach myself or my team. We will be very happy to serve and to help you to make good decisions for any company investment.
Thank you so much, Roberto, again. Have a great day.
Same, likewise.